All right. Today is February 11th, 2024. And this is Reverend Carrie Stone out in Texas. I have been meticulously and lovingly putting together and gift wrapping a gift for my daughter. It's pretty sad when you live in a day and age where people try to gaslight you and degrade you and say things that aren't true about you to hurt you with your relationship with your children and to hurt you in your relationship with your offspring and to cause division between mothers and daughters and mothers and sons or family just because people are unhealthy, unwell, jealous, envious, for whatever reason, degenerated, that they think that they have to come between mothers and daughters and mothers and children and family. I've had to deal with this person named Honey who thought that she could say lies about me and make up flat out lies and stories to my mother. So I had to deal with that. I dealt with it through Facebook Messenger because I'm not friends with this person because this person is not anybody that I'd want to be friends with, especially when they take advantage of a situation and try to exploit another family. It just shows how degenerated and adulterated and messed up and twisted they are. And there are many people today who call themselves Christians, but they're operating in witchcraft by lying, slander, manipulating, speaking lies about people, speaking word curses over people. So I just want to call that out really quickly. All the Christians that I've witnessed that are operating in witchcraft with their words and their jealousy and their envy and everything else, I've seen it all. The name of the title of this message today and this ministry blog and this spiritual artist ministry blog is John 5:6-8. When Jesus saw him lying there and learned that he had been in the condition for a long time, he asked him, "Do you want to get well? Do you want to be made whole?" I've had many people in my life who are not whole, who are not well, who are just fractured or adulterated or less pure souls, try to come between me and my daughter. And this has been ongoing now for years because people are jealous and envious of my creator gifted and my creator ordained relationship with my daughter as her mama. And I've put together this love and care package for her. I'm not big on man-made holidays. However, I've put this together for her meticulously and gift wrapped it. I've been told many things I'm just trying to figure out if it's like altars or multiple personalities or whatever, like saying just different things about how she's not going to appreciate it. Don't send her anything. And what I've learned is not to listen to any voices outside of myself, coming from other people, only to listen to the voice of Creator and what I know is right for me. And I want to encourage everybody the same, because as much as I love my friends and as much as I love my family and as much as I want to love people, I realize that people don't have the best intentions for me and people don't have the best intentions for my daughter. And I'm still having to work to get my property back from someone who stole my property. And I've made a public notice for someone who stole my life's work and my property. And I'm still working to get that back. I'm at a point where I'm absolutely done dealing with crazy makers, people with multiple personalities, people who refuse to be whole, people that refuse to be made whole and to be made well. I'm not anybody's mental punching bag, emotional punching bag, spiritual punching bag. I'm not here for anybody to manipulate, to use, to exploit, to take advantage of. I don't help for free anymore. That's the big thing. I don't help for free anymore. Just in the last few days, I got 2 texts from some females who are of age, daughters of some very narcissistic guys calling themselves dads. I'm to the point where I see now not everybody should be able to have children and call themselves mother or father. And I've had 2 people text me asking for help, and I wish that I could help them, but I cannot work for free anymore. I cannot help for free anymore, because that puts me in situations to be exploited, and I can't help anybody just because I'm nice, loving, and kind, because I was exploited by this guy who proclaimed to be a Christian and a senior citizen and a veteran and a former deacon and everything else. He owes me $6,000, tried to gaslight me, and use me up for his own benefit to try to make himself of higher status and to look better in society whenever I founded a business for him and got him going in life after his wife died. But I didn't know that he was a heroin, drug, pill, opioid addict, because people lie about who they really are. And so I'm not helping for free anymore. Like those days are over. I'd like to have the film to my Moonflower show back. The guy who filmed the film to my show, the Moonflower Show, he's been holding my film hostage, claiming it as his own. And I've given him plenty of space for grace, to do the right thing. The guy who filmed me and my daughter, the creepy spiritual healer Scientologist who pretended to be my friend, who said, "Oh, I'm going to film you and your daughter so you can have memories of you and your daughter. I'm putting these stickers, these heart stickers on her gift." And who took film of me and my daughter, said, "I'm filming this so you and your daughter can have memories," and then kept it as his own, and then tried to keep it and claim it as his own, saying that it was pre-filmed to the Moonflower Show that I created, directed, produced, and oversaw and received as a vision, from creator, as a visionary. What I would like is to have that film of me and my daughter back, and for that pervert to stop keeping film of a mother, a single mom, and her minor daughter, because that's creepy, it's perverted, it's sick. And the last time I saw him was at a thrift store, and he was terrified because he knew that he's done wrong, and he's a pervert, and he's a freak show. And I just like it if they contact me to send the film back, because I have a P.O. box that my film can be sent back to me. Because why would a guy keep film of a single mom and her daughter if he wasn't a pervert? It's really that simple. And then the guy who filmed the Moonflower Show, just release it on your YouTube channel, Joe ETV. That's all you have to do, instead of being a creep show and a degenerate and a liar. And his reason for keeping the film was because we didn't have a contract. So anybody, be aware that there are perverts, and there are degenerates, and there are creeps who will pretend like they're your friend to film your show, or to film your blog, or to film your this. Or this is for any content creators or any visionaries or any future directors out there, or anybody who is creative, a writer, a producer, screenplay, show writer, hostess, anything, content, anything. I'm sharing wisdom here. There are degenerates in the industry who pretend to be spiritual. They'll use the name of God. They'll use the name of Jesus. And they'll do anything they can to exploit innocent people like me and other innocent people in the world. So just be aware and be careful. And I'm happy to provide consulting for anyone who wants to learn some wisdom and how to protect themselves from the creep shows and the degenerates and all the different industries out here, because they are very real and they're everywhere. And there are parents who don't protect their daughters. There are parents who don't protect their sons. There are parents who don't protect the innocence of their family. And there are parents who don't care about their family. And there are parents who don't care if their offspring gets exploited. And I'm here to support people's dreams and their visions and their calling from God, to help people walk in their full-time purpose and their gifts and their talents and their calling from Creator. And I have a lot of wisdom to share from my life experiences as a former creative director, who directed and produced and organized my own show called The Moonflower Show. That was, I don't know, like 2014, about 10 years ago. And I'm still trying to get the film back to the show. What I'd like is for it to just be released to the general public and to be a gift to the general public. Because it was supposed to be a family-oriented community event. And I thought it was people that were my friends, because I was going to a school at the time. And so there were a lot of my classmates involved and even a couple of teachers. But what happens is people get greedy. Before things even get off the ground, before there can be any financial prosperity or abundance or success, people get greedy. And then their gremlins start coming out, their demons start coming out, their unhealed areas start coming out, their adulterated parts start coming out. And then there's no level of success, because people refuse to walk in consciousness, wholeness, become evolved. And I remember that, these are people that you trust. These are people you think that are your friends. And this all goes back to where Jesus said in the scriptures, do you want to be made whole? Jesus did not go around healing people. He didn't just go around performing miracles and healing people. He asked people, do you want to be made whole? Do you want to be well? Okay. He just didn't just go around performing all these miracles. He asked people, do you want to be made whole? Do you want to be made well? I have people who have committed crimes on me, stole from me, tried to exploit me, gaslight me, slander me, destroy my character, assassinate my character, defame my character 10 years ago. And these people have still not apologized today. And it just goes back to how people are jealous, how people are envious, how they're not whole. And so, I just propose this and I ask this to anybody watching this video. Do you want to be made whole? Because if you don't want to be made whole, there is no amount of help that any God or any Christ or any creator or any savior or any maker or any helper or any healer or any benevolent being can do to assist you in your evolution or in your wholeness if you don't want to be made whole or well. And what I've noticed is that many people claim their diseases. They hold on to their diseases. They hold on to their mental illnesses. They hold on to their sicknesses. And I've also noticed that many people love to act out onto other people. They love their bad behaviors. They love to mentally and emotionally and abuse other people that they feel like have less than them or in a vulnerable situation than them, and like a power and control dynamic, which is a part of unwellness and unwholeness. And I've seen it all. I've seen it all. And my daughter and I happen to be collateral damage in these situations because of people who are unwhole, people who are unwell, alcoholics, addicts, people that have a mental illness, an emotional illness, a spiritual sickness. And in quantum physics, every disease can be healed because it's a battlefield of the mind. And even pastor Joyce Myers says that it's a battlefield in the mind of a book that she wrote. And we can connect to our own consciousness. We can be aware of our own thoughts. We can be disciplined in our mind to where we can focus or concentrate our attention on what we need to focus it on. We can develop ourselves. We can evolve as a soul. We can find the right mentors. We can master ourselves. Okay. There is a more excellent way. However, I'm not working for free and I'm not helping for free anymore. And I have many people who want to be my friends. Okay. I'm not even here for friends anymore. I tried to do that and that did not go well. That did not work out. I was even going to have a friend come to visit from 4.5 hours away, and that did not work out well. Okay. So it's a choice. Do you want to be made whole? Do you want to become well? What I've seen is many people love their multiple personalities. Many people love their bad behavior. Many people love um, they love the abuse and control and the power dynamic of taking advantage of people that they see less than them, or less of material status, or less status in society, or people who have less material possessions, or don't have their own home, or don't have their own car. And I have a coworker that does not have a car and they live with somebody who has a house, and this person treats them horribly. Okay, but this person is an alcoholic. This person has a mood disorder. This person is either bipolar or has multiple personality, and he treats my coworker, my friend, horribly because he thinks that my coworker, my friend, has less than him because he doesn't have a vehicle, or because he doesn't have his own home, or because he has to work a job. Okay, I've seen and I've witnessed the whole entire spectrum of humanity, and I've seen the worst in humanity. Okay, which is why I'm not working for free anymore, and nobody can, manipulate me into being their friend anymore, because it always happens the same way. As they project their problems out onto me, try to gaslight me, um and it's just not going to happen that way anymore. I'm focusing on a relationship with my daughter, because she got infected by her dad's girlfriend, who is just, I'll just say it, just a lower vibration. And that's the nicest way I could put it. And people who pretended to be our friends and pretended to be my friend, who, because of their jealousy and their envy, tried to get my daughter to think that she didn't need a mom, or she wasn't worthy of a mom, or there was something wrong with her mom. And so I'm calling out all of the bullies. I'm calling out all of the haters. I'm calling out all of the jealous people. I'm calling out all the envious people. And it's time to evolve. It's time to self-develop. Okay. And stop being a hater. Okay. Because anybody who hurt me and my daughter, the Bible is clear that it's better for a millstone to be wrapped around your neck and for you to be dropped to the bottom of the ocean than to turn a little one against God and their faith in God. And that includes their relationship with their mother, who's an ordained minister and a child of God. And so I've just absolutely had it. And so that's why I'm speaking out about it, because at the end of the day, nobody can voice for us but us. Nobody can take up for us but us. And this is why Creator Almighty gave us a voice, so that we can stand up for ourselves. Now, we don't have to fight. However, we are to use our words as a sword of truth. In Exodus 14:14, it says that Creator Almighty fights for us, and all we have to do is stand. However, we are to put on the armor of God every single day, which is the helmet of salvation, the sword of truth, the breastplate of righteousness. Okay, I don't know what the belt is. Okay, but the whole point of this is I'm not letting anybody take advantage of my kindness anymore. I'm not letting anybody take advantage or exploit the fact that I am a child of God, and that I'm loving and kind and generous with my time and my attention. And my focus is on my daughter and all those who have caused harm between me and my daughter's relationship because of their envy or their jealousy or their words or their false accusations or their gaslighting in society or on Facebook or through gossip and rumors. You will be held accountable, and it is that simple. So the word says, do you want to be made whole? And from what I've realized, not everybody wants to be made whole. Okay? Let's talk about jealousy and gossip in the workplace, because I've had to deal with that off and on through different times. Let's talk about reverse racism, because that exists too. Okay? If people are jealous about you in the workplace, or they gossip about you in the workplace, that's because they're jealous. That's because they're envious. And they're showing their lack of class. They're showing their lack of character. They're showing their lack of integrity. Okay. What we are judged upon in the workplace is when we show up and we perform and we do our job duties and our task that we're assigned to. Okay. Let others be jealous. Let others be envious. Go to work every day and find out what your tasks are. Find out what your assignments are. Okay, and do it. If you are starting a business, okay, put your mind on that, because there are people in this world who are going to hate you and be jealous and envious of you just because you're starting a business, just because you're doing something to make your dreams come true, just because you're wanting to do something to better yourself, or to have a higher quality of life, or to pursue your own happiness, or to pursue your own inner peace, or to fulfill your God-given purpose, dreams, and talents, and to be in your purpose. Okay? There are a lot of people who will be jealous and envious of you if they find out that you have a side job that you do, or a side business that you do. Okay? There are jealous and envious people everywhere. And I'm calling them out. They're everywhere. Okay? You just can't let them get to you. So from what I've noticed, and this is true, and I will say it again, is most people do not want to be made whole. Okay? Jesus Christ shared the message, do you want to be made whole? Over 2,000 years ago. And also said that we would do greater things. And what I've realized is 2,000 years later, people are not whole. People have turned the teachings of Christ, turned it into a man-made religion. And I see it over and over and over again in modern day Christianity. People taking the teachings of Christ and turning it into a man-made religion. Okay, I've seen it over and over and over and over again. And I'm a master at testing the spirits. It's actually something I quite enjoy doing. And so I've seen it over and 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 over again. Okay? Jesus Christ called out the religious people. Okay? Jesus Christ called out those who created man-made wars and man-made religion. Okay, but here we are again today, to where people are taking something that Jesus taught in his life's work and turning it into a man-made religion and systematic religion. And this, at this point, I'll just say it, it's blasphemous, because it goes against everything that he spoke of and taught of. And I want to say this too, that Jesus Christ, Yeshua, Yahushua, if you want to call it in Hebrew or Jesus, whatever you want to call it, he was a metaphysician. Okay? Metaphysics is the science of the unseen, the soul, the unseen, the mental realms, the emotional realms, our feelings. Those things are very, 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 very real. And the Messiah was a metaphysician, because he was a master in the unseen realms. And those unseen realms that he taught, he called it faith. Faith is the substance of those things unseen. Okay? Faith is the substance of the evidence of things not seen. Faith, what is it? Is it hope in the things that are unseen? Okay? The unseen, faith, hope. Okay? Those are the things that are unseen. Having faith in the substance of the unseen realms, hope and faith. Okay, that Creator Almighty is going to bring your hopes and desires and your needs and your material needs and your heart's desires to come to pass, to have a life of prosperity, abundance, fulfillment, and a life abundant, like the word says. Those are all unseen things. So yes, Jesus Christ, Yahushua, was a master metaphysician. Okay, so that's simple as it gets. That's as clear as it gets. And that should blow anything out of the water of man-made religion that says otherwise. All right. So, do you want to be made whole? Because I've had this conversation with a former friend and former, I don't even know what to call her. Do you want to be made whole? If you want to claim your disease or your illness, or just keep on claiming it and 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 using it as an excuse of why you can't get better, or why you don't treat people better, or why you can't move to the next step of your evolution or spiritual progression or self-development or personal development, then you're never going to become whole. You're never going to become well. You're never going to get better. I have been studying personal development, self-help, and self-development since I was 15 years old and had a permit to drive. And the first place I went with my job whenever I was 15 years old as a cashier at a Mexican restaurant when I got my paycheck was to the bookstore to buy self-help books. Then I started going to church because I knew that there was something not perfect or not right in our family home. And I knew that I needed something more for myself personally, that something wasn't right. And it's still the same way. Nothing has changed. And I have spent over 30 years in prayer, and I have searched the world wide over, studying all the different religions and all the different spiritual ways. Okay, so I know what works and I know what doesn't work. I've studied self mastery for over a decade now and started studying self help and personal development whenever I was 15. So this is over 30 years of full time studying. And this is why I'm not helping for free anymore. And this is why I'm not just allowing any person into my life as a friend. Some announcements have to be made. Some things have to be said, because if you don't speak up for yourself, then people are always going to try to run over you or gaslight you or take advantage of you or exploit you. And we must learn how to open that voice and find our soul's voice and speak for ourselves. In the beginning was the word, the spoken word. And when we are in our relationship with our maker, and we have self-mastery in our identity and we know who we are, then people can't destroy your character, especially when you learn how to speak for yourself from your true soul's voice. So the question that I'm posing is, do you want to be made whole? Or do you love the hamster wheel? Or do you love the perpetual cycles? Or do you love the distortions? Do you love the chaos? Do you love the uneasy energy? Do you get off on hurting other people? Do you get off on the chaos energy? Do you get off on projecting your problems on other people that you consider to be vulnerable? I asked that question and I proposed that question because I have people who think that they could do that to me because I'm nice and I'm kind and I'm loving and I'm empathic. And I'm not here for that. So the question to ask is, do you want to be made whole? Do you want to be made well? The Messiah didn't heal people by force. He didn't just go about performing random acts. You have to want it. You have to want to be made whole. You have to want to be made well. And I'm not charging anything less than $150 a session. And that's just what it is. That's just what it is at this point, because I have been taken advantage of so badly by people because of my kindness. And that's just what it is. So if you'd like a session for spiritual counseling, and you'd like a session for a spiritual mind treatment, and you'd like a metaphysical spiritual life session with me, or a life coaching session with me, it's $150. And it's that simple. It's that simple, because I've been helping for free for a long time. And the last person that I befriended and let into my heart as a friend was my final lesson. So this is Reverend Carrie Stone with She That Exists. And this is my spiritual artistry message for Sunday, February 11th. And my battery's about to die. So this is all. Email me at shethatexist@gmail.com for interest. And it's $150. And it is what it is. And the price isn't going down because I'm aware of who I am, my degrees, my education, my life experience, my certifications, my identity, who I am, what I have to offer, and my value. So this is all for now. And of course, as always, I'll be back. But it's a decision. Do you want to be made whole? Do you want to be made well? This is all.